Hey you guys, in this video we're drawing Stitch all dressed up for graduation. Here's a quick preview of how our drawings turned out at the very end, and I hope you're really excited to follow along with me. For this lesson you need a pencil and eraser to draw the main shapes of Stitch. Then we use our marker to add the details and our black lines. Finally, we're using alcohol-based markers to color Stitch, so we're also drawing on marker paper. But you can use whatever you have at home. Use colored pencils or even oil pastels. Another thing I always like to remind you is don't worry about making your drawing look exactly like mine. The most important thing is to have fun and practice. And I even look at my drawings at the very end and notice things that I want to change the next time I draw them. Like, for example, this leg right here seems a little short. It's not as long as this one. So the next time I draw a Stitch, I'll really work on trying to get that leg the same length on both sides. So again, I hope you're really excited to follow along. Let's get started. Let's first draw a circle for Stitch's head. We're going to draw it right here in the middle of our paper. And during this part of our drawing, we don't want to worry about making these lines look perfect. It's okay if they're sketchy, and if you go over them a couple times, just pause the video and really work on getting these shapes the way that you want them before you move on to the next step. Okay, now let's draw the ears. We're going to draw it coming out, curving around, and then back into the head. And then we'll do the same thing, trying to match and make it symmetrical on both sides. It's okay if they're a little different. This one, I think, will come down further. Yeah, there we go. And then erase any of the lines you don't want to keep. Now for the nose, we could draw a big circle right in the middle. And then we'll draw the mouth. We could draw a short line coming down. And then just like on our other Stitch lessons, we can add a little guide point here on the corner of the mouth. Then we're going to curve down and then curve back up for the top of the mouth. And then we're going to draw the bottom of the mouth, sticking really close to, or staying really close to the bottom of the circle, or bottom of the head. And then we can draw the eyes next. We'll draw a circle here and a matching circle over here. Now let's also draw the hat or cap. We can draw two lines coming up from the head, and then we'll draw a curve connecting those two lines. And then the top of the cap, we can draw a diamond shape. So let's add a guide point there and maybe one over here and over here. And then we can draw diagonal lines connecting to those guide points. And if I ever go too fast, remember you can pause the video for extra time. Then I'm going to draw the bottom of the cap coming in. And then we could draw the tassel coming down here. We'll draw two lines coming down. We can add a little circle at the bottom, and the bottom of the tassel, we can draw this rectangle shape. Yeah, this is looking awesome and a lot of fun. I hope you're having fun too. Don't worry about making your lines look exactly like mine. The most important thing is to have fun and practice. Okay, next let's draw the body, or Stitch's body. We'll keep it really simple. We're going to draw the letter U. And then we're going to draw the arms coming out to the side. So we could draw a big sideways letter U and then try to match the same size over here. And we'll keep this drawing of Stitch simple by not drawing all of the little fingers, but we'll add the little claws. All right, I'm going over this a couple more times, really trying to get these matching on both sides. So pause the video if you need to work on this a little bit longer and get it how you like. Now for the legs, let's draw them curving out on both sides. We'll draw it curving, and then we'll just draw it connecting underneath. Yeah, something like this. We'll leave it just like this. This is all we need our pencil for. We can put that off to the side and switch to our marker, and we're gonna add the details. Let's start with Stitch's nose. We can trace over the pencil guideline. I'm gonna trace over the top, and then we can trace over the bottom. And then let's also add the little nostrils on each side. And then let's draw the eyes. I'm gonna draw the big circle. We'll just trace over the pencil line first. And then we can draw the highlight or a smaller oval in the top of each eye. And then let's color in the big circle. To make these look more like Stitch's eyes, we'll draw a line coming down from the middle of the eye and then connect into the bottom with this little point in the bottom corner. And this turns the eyes into kind of a raindrop shape. There we go. Now let's do the mouth. We'll draw the short line down, and then we can trace over the pencil line for the top of the mouth and also the bottom. Then we can add the teeth. Let's start with the middle. We can draw a W for the two small teeth in the front. And then we can make these side teeth slightly bigger. Then we'll add a smaller letter V on each side. And then for the rest of the teeth going back, we'll just add curves that connect to each other. So there's one and another one. Okay, now let's draw the bottom teeth. The first two upside down letter V's are spaced out further than the top ones. Then we can draw slightly bigger teeth on the sides. And then we'll do the same thing. We can add one more letter V and then a couple or one. I'm not sure how many. We'll add a couple more teeth on the side. And then right in the middle, we can draw a curve coming up and down and then back down for the tongue. That looks awesome. Okay, let's also draw some of his hair sticking out of his head and over the hat. Then we can also draw the wrinkles over his nose. And then we can also draw little eyebrows. I'm going to draw a curve that comes out over the eye and then connects in to the pencil circle. All right, now let's draw over the pencil for the top of the head. And we're not going to draw through the little hair. And then we can trace over the hat. And we'll just use the same guidelines. And let's switch over here to the tassel. So we can trace over the tassel lines and the circle and the rectangle shape. Okay, now let's trace over the cap for the left side and then matching on the right side, but we don't want to draw through the tassel. So we'll go behind right here and then connect to the head. Now we can trace over the pencil line for the rest of his head. We go all the way down and we can stop there. And then we'll do the same thing on here, trace over and stop there. All right, now let's draw his ears. We'll trace over the pencil line, but when we get over here on the left side to there, let's draw a little notch and then we'll continue on the pencil. Then on this side, we'll do the same thing, but the notch we're gonna add further down about here and then trace over the rest of the pencil. Yeah, and then one more thing for the ear. It curls on the edge, so we're gonna draw another curve coming in and connecting to the head. And then we'll add that same kind of curve on the bottom of the ear. He's looking so cool. Now let's draw his body. And we'll do his arms first. I'm gonna make him a little shorter than the pencil line. So I didn't trace over the pencil right here. I'm gonna stop right here and we'll switch to the other side. Maybe I'll make this shorter too. I think his arms are really long. Okay, then we can add his fingernails. So I'm gonna draw the thumb and we'll just color it in. And then we can add 3 more fingers. 1, 2, and I'm drawing them curving down, and 3. There's his hand. Nice and simple. And then we can do the same thing over here. So there's the thumb claw, and then we'll draw the other 3 finger claws curving down. I love drawing Stitch. He's so much fun. Okay, and then for his body, we'll draw it curving down from his armpit. We'll stop here, and then we'll come out for his foot And we're gonna do the same thing. We'll just trace over the pencil. We can stop there. Let's come over to this side, and then we'll trace over this pencil for his legs, curve up, and then we'll stop there. And then for his belly or the bottom of his body, we can draw a curve like that. Oh, and let's also add little toe claws. So one here, and just add 3 to keep it simple. And because it's 3D, it's on the other side of his foot. And then the last thing, let's add a little zigzag line for the fur on his chest. And we did it! We finished drawing Stitch, all dressed up for graduation, except we still need to color him. This part will fast forward, but at the end you can pause the video to match my same coloring. Now also, before you color, switch to your eraser and erase any of the guidelines that you can still see. All right, we did it. We finished drawing and coloring Stitch, and it turned out awesome, all colored in. I hope you'll take time to color your drawings. Now you can pause the video to match my same coloring. I used a medium blue for most of Stitch, and then a lighter blue for his belly, underneath his mouth, on his chin, and then also around his eyes. Then you use pink for his ears, tongue, a darker red for his mouth, and then also a darker blue for his nose and his hands. You can also use a light gray to add a shadow on the ground to make him look more 3D. But you could add even more things to this drawing. Maybe Stitch is holding a diploma, or he's fully dressed in a gown, so that you have the full cap and gown for his graduation. This is a fun drawing that you could give to somebody that's graduating. Also, you could dress Stitch up in anything. It doesn't have to just be a cap and gown for graduation. Maybe he's wearing sunglasses and a swimsuit. And I hope you had a lot of fun drawing Stitch all dressed up for graduation. And we'll see you later, our friends. Goodbye.